Hello, and welcome to Explore the Neuroverse. Hello, and welcome to Explore the Neuroverse. We are back in the studio today with three busy brains, Yvonne and Sarah. Yvonne from Unicus Collective, Sarah from Neuroaffirm Hub. By the time this episode goes out, we'll have done our launch together for Three Busy Brains. But we wanted to come back into the studio because we're all now back in the same country, having experienced the most absurd last 8 weeks.
Putting it lightly.
I mean, on the 28th of February, who knew that it was going to change, well, our lives, quite frankly, so dramatically. I think the need for community definitely has grown over this period because people are like, it's a bit of an eye opener. Like, you know how in COVID we were stuck at home?
Yes.
This time we weren't stuck necessarily, but people were living a much more quieter life. And the uncertainty level. Like neurodiverse people don't deal with uncertainty very well. No. You know what I mean? So,
and you also could only be with certain people who had the same similar mindset.
Oh, I think that's a big thing.
That's the big one.
Yeah.
Like when we were on that boat, everyone had a similar mindset.
Yeah.
You couldn't have thrown in someone nervous on that boat.
I mean, nervous people weren't getting on that boat.
They were on that boat. There was totally forgotten.
Yeah.
But I think that getting those mindsets.
I'm now thinking about that. Imagine getting an alert or something. You're like, on the boat.
It was so weird. It was like a perfect day, wasn't it?
We had the biggest boat we've ever had at that point in time. Now I'm best friends with the lady who runs the company because she's like, you're the only lunatic that took a boat out during a war. But we were in swimming distance.
I was literally swimming over to the shore.
Yeah. I mean, if we saw something coming towards us, we could have very easily got out the way.
Yeah.
It wasn't like
I'm just trying to picture it all together.
But we were.
Everyone
was so happy to be
relieved.
Together,
and we didn't all know each other even. But everyone was just so happy.
Yeah, it was whoever was here.
It was lovely.
Whoever I know has a similar mindset.
No one was negative. Everyone was
we
positive.
all just had a really, really lovely day. And we don't need to dwell on the boat so much. But I think
because say that everyone's positive about the UAE.
Still having that sense of community. From my own friendship group perspective, during COVID, we had this core group of friends who were all pulled together. And we would organise things together through COVID. We haven't done anything together, I think, since COVID. And then as soon as this happened, everyone was like rallying. Okay, I'm going to have a pool party at my house. You can come. Yes. All of a sudden, same group of people were leaning on each other in the same way, which is actually quite fascinating, right? Because in between our lives, of course, we see each other, but not in the same way. This is very sort of, when the times get tough, we lean on each other. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah. And it's pointy where Julie and I had to actually not respond to or come off the group and our group.
Yes.
Because of the very negative, some of them very negative people. And that couldn't work for us then.
I find the negativity
couldn't work for us then.
Difficult. And I think this is worth discussing
Just don't say
as
anything.
Well.
Yeah.
I find the negativity difficult. I do understand that those people need an outlet. But I also find the people who can only talk about this thing too much.
Or about themselves. Because there's a difference.
I mean, that's in the human nature,
it's a difference if someone's celebrating something's happened for my child or this has happened and then they come in for negative. There was someone that kept doing that on our group.
I'm not getting the context. Can you?
So say something I said, we're trying to get some positive here in the group. Lorcan's just done this basketball thing. It's great. And everyone's, it's wonderful. And it takes everyone out. Oh, it's so nice to have this great news. And then one person would come and go, I'm having a nightmare. My child is doing this and my parents and blah, blah, blah. Like every time though.
Just
every
brought
time.
It back down again.
Every time. To the negatives, or my child's going through all this, trying to get them back from their country. We're going to do it though. I'm so positive. We're going to make it. I'm a travel agent. Oh, they're so lucky to have you. I didn't have that. And that's you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But then it starts, and you can feel the whole group like, whoa! All it can take is one
person to bring it all down.
It's almost then everyone start going silent. No, everyone starts going silent, and then they go off.
But that's what's
each other,
right?
Yeah.
So no one even sort of had a quiet word on the side? And
not with the person, no. Because it was like, okay, they're just not seeing
I think everyone
not seeing
responds
anyone else.
differently, right, in these kind of times. Like for example, in COVID, I had a friend that was like, okay, OCD about everything, double mask in, whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, let's go out, like whatever.
Yeah.
If I'm going to grab something, I'm going to grab it. Like it's fine.
Yeah.
But then in this time, it's the same thing. Some will dwell a lot on the news and the negatives.
Obviously,
and
they want the
yeah.
negatives. They don't want to
Right.
hear any positive. It's
Yeah.
quite interesting.
and
Yeah,
they
yeah.
get quite
And
black.
I'm not like that.
They
I'm
don't-
very
Yeah.
positive, can do, but so it's very hard.
Yeah,
so then you need
there's
to be
two
with those
different
people.
mindsets, very much so. And the people that are sort of doom scrolling, watching the news
Yes.
too much. I mean, but that's, I mean,
It's good to be aware, but then it's not
Yeah.
great when it brings you down and brings everyone down around you.
Yeah,
I think
'cause
it
affects your
shows-
energy.
yeah.
You got to
right?
lift each other up in these
And I
times.
think that's what it
Yeah.
shows is you need to connect with the light people during these times. And that friend that I told you that was going mad about her husband, she said the same. She said she can't believe the people that have gone that she feels now are dead wood, were just users.
There is something to be said for that, like the
It should-
cleanse.
yes.
So Dubai has a cleanse periodically.
Yeah.
I've been here a long
It's quite
time, and I've seen it
interesting.
happen for a variety of different reasons,
Yeah.
and it does very much have a cleanse. But yes, you're right. I think people sort of show up in different ways
Yeah.
in these environments as well, right? Like
Yeah.
you're
who
either going to
cares?
lean into each other or you're going to pull each other down. And you see the ones who start to pull you down or potentially have only been
Or don't contact
engaged
you 'cause you're not
with
getting
you
anything
because
out
you
of
got I realize that you're actually talking about someone specific, and I only just caught on to that, but it's true in terms of people you can realize from people that they only were engaging with you because they needed to get something out of you.
Yeah.
And when that need has gone for whatever reason, they're just not interested anymore.
And they don't care what's going on in your life, which is
No.
really what's
Yeah.
quite sad, I think.
I think the
Quite
difficulty
sad.
is people can be quite selfish by nature anyway, but we also don't always know what's going on in other people's lives, the stresses that they have, the burdens that they have. And of course, all of these things affect people's behavior, right? So I never like to write people off like straight away. I do like to give people more opportunities, but there's also a point where you have to protect yourself, right?
Yes. Yeah.
You have to have your own boundaries.
Yeah.
You know, if I can let it go a couple of times. It's sort of like 3-strike rule, you know what I
Yes,
mean?
it is. Yeah, Ross always says like 3 strikes, you're out.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, listen, I live in a household
Great.
that's half autistic, and you know they only let 1 strike go.
Oh my God.
Or
yeah.
not even 1 strike go. You're
Lucy
out
was
on
like,
the
oh.
first one. You know what I mean? It's
Exactly.
it's hard and fast. You know what I mean?
Or you have to come grovelling with a lot of apologies.
yeah, yeah,
otherwise.
yeah.
That's the other
You
thing.
might be lucky.
Then you might be.
Yeah, I mean, but listen, we know as neurodiverse women that we're all carrying a heavy burden. We carry a lot for our children, for ourselves, for our households, for our husbands, work, etc., yeah? And sometimes people are really struggling, and that can manifest itself in a way that isn't particularly appealing or attractive, or can come across as rude or disrespectful or whatever. And you have to give people a moment, because I've done it when I've been stressed. I can be quite forthright or aggressive, and I don't mean to be. It's just a manifestation of whatever I'm going through. So, you know, whilst I expect people to be patient with me, I then have to remind myself that I also have to be patient with them, right? But coming back to sort of the last 8 weeks, like the morning of the 28th of February, where were you? What were you doing?
I remember.
Yeah.
Very
Go
clearly.
ahead.
My parents had literally come here 3 days before, and they're like
Yes, of
84
course.
and 80.
Your parents were here.
Yeah, literally 3 days before. 84 and 80. Lucky they're in an apartment above our apartment, which is quite nice. So they had their own space because they're in their 80s. They said, we like our own space. So the boys were with them. So that was great. So amazingly, Ross and I got some time of our own. So where were we? But in Dubai Mall.
Well, I mean, the
Which
benefit
was quite interesting.
of all the things that happened over the last 8 weeks, the benefit was there's very little traffic and it wasn't busy everywhere.
No.
So to actually to take out those of our gangs who are autistic. It wasn't actually that. Like, it was actually quite good because it was calm. There weren't as many people. Like, the city sort of went down a few notches. You know what I mean? 'Cause normally it's like full on.
Buzzing.
Like, it wasn't.
But even that day, being in Dubai Mall, we're having a lovely. Someone said stuff is happening, and we were like, "Oh, having a nice." So
you were in Dubai Mall on the 28th of February.
Yeah, when it was all kicking off, and we could hear the stuff on screens, but no one was taking any notice of anything. Everyone was very chilled. And we're just having a lovely afternoon.
Okay.
So I was very calm.
Sorry, I skipped on a few weeks. But yes. I thought you meant later on.
No, that's
okay,
on
so
the
actually
day.
on the 28th of February.
And then when we got home, and then when we were there, it was saying something's happened. We got home, we drove, the roads were getting quiet already. And that's when I think everything
Well, because people were
became a bit
being
real.
conservative, right?
Yes.
I myself, I had a house full of children that day. And I was actually supposed to take them to sort of, one of these trampoline places.
Yes.
And I was like, I think I'm going to stay home. You know what I mean? Like, I
You
don't
sense
feel like
something.
taking other people's children out right now is a really great idea. So we just had a chill day at home, and it just sort of, obviously the day evolved. What did the day look like for you?
Yeah, I had to pause earlier because I was trying to remember what I was doing.
Yeah.
But I remember now. I had some regrouting work happening at home. Normally the kids have music, but I had to not have it because I was at home on my own. My husband had travelled on the 24th, so he wasn't around. And actually I was going to take the kids out to meet their friends because they were like, I want to get out of the house. They had left the workers, and I was like, okay, yeah, we'll try and make it out. And then the news came out about the, the interesting times that was happening.
It developed very quickly,
It is,
right?
and I have to say, being at the marina as you were as well, the
Yeah.
weirdest thing for us is when it really did and things were happening.
Yeah.
Was the strangest thing was that everyone went onto their balcony.
Because
I've never seen so many people out on their balcony.
It's curiosity.
Yeah, but I've never seen so many people. I didn't know there were this many
Yeah.
people in their homes, actually.
But I think one of
So
the
it's
things for
quite-
me on that
but
day
people
was
were quite
that-
calm. I didn't see people
Yes.
at that time.
Oh, I think it depends on the people. I honestly
Well, the
do. Because
balcony
I think,
people.
I think, I mean, of all the conversations we've had over the last eight weeks, something like that, people fall into different camps because you've got the really nervous people, the people who are concentrating on the news all the time, the people who are catastrophizing, the you and me's that just keep going no matter what. But it's how much you ultimately the system, what's happening isn't in your control.
Yes. Yeah.
So for me, one of the things I found difficult was, immediately because my children are neurodiverse, I had to have very honest conversations with them, and I didn't have all the facts.
Yeah.
So I could only tell them what I knew at the time. My son, who has a combined diagnosis of autism and ADHD, he got very, very stressed out. For him, it's the uncertainty. Neurodiverse people don't cope very well with uncertainty. They like to know what's going to happen. They like routine, and everything went out the window in one day.
Yeah.
And that becomes incredibly hard to navigate because 1, you're trying to regulate yourself. 2, you're trying to regulate your children, and you're trying to seek information to be able to do that. But there's no information. For the audience's sake, we obviously received very factual, very transparent information from the government.
Yeah.
And they did a wonderful job.
They
here.
weren't in control of what it's.
But they
it's
weren't
other
in control of what was
countries, that's the
happening.
problem.
Everything came as a surprise, and everybody can only move at the pace of the information that they're receiving.
Exactly.
How did that look like in your household?
Oh, it was a roller coaster to say the least, because 2 children, myself alone. It was a lot to carry.
Yes, 'cause hubby was abroad.
He was
wasn't
abroad. So for me, even having my husband calling me from abroad, hearing about the news, going, you got to stay downstairs, don't be close to windows. And I'm like, listen, I love you, but I need you to go away right now.
You're not
need
here.
I need to regulate myself. I need to manage the kids because they were asking a lot of questions. And as you said, I don't have all the answers, but I was able to say that we're here together. Let's just take it as it comes along. But I wanted to go see my friends. I know I want to see my friend too, but we're going to see them at a better time. Now is not the right time. So it was just really trying to navigate their emotions, their questions, and it was hard. And I was also worried, like I don't know.
Well, nobody knew, right?
I mean, mine were very calm, but I think because when the incidents happened in Iran back in the summer, they were very interested then, just had seen it on the news.
Yeah.
So when it was
this is
all
a lot closer
started,
to home, though.
now it all started coming. I think I had been talking to them for a good few days in the run up of what was going on. So it then wasn't such a crazy surprise, which I think helped. Because then any questions I'd ask, I'd answer them. Because my two are very much, especially Lucian, he has to have honesty. He has to have conversation. And if I'd lied, he'd know I was lying. So that's that weird one where almost like, I don't really want to tell you everything, but you'll know if I don't.
100%.
And obviously we transitioned very quickly into sort of online schooling.
Very quick.
Sarah, you obviously took the decision to take the children to Australia, where you're from.
Yeah.
Did you, I think the question I have is actually, for you, did you struggle with them on the plane at all? Because you left quite early on.
Yeah.
Was there any anxiety around flying at that time?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it wasn't even a plan. It was just like exploratory. Let's see what flights I can get. And we were having a laugh between me and my friend who came actually to stay with us because also her husband was away. So it was an interesting dynamic where we were having a laugh. Oh, why don't we go to Italy and try to get the kids into a bit of a safety area. We can have a bit of a holiday, navigate it and understand what will unfold. But when I explored, I was like, okay, you know what? There's actually a flight going to Sydney. And I thought, okay, let me just see if it actually is going to take off because the airspace wasn't actually open. And I was like, I'm not going to drag the kids along, luggage and all, go to the airport, and then the flight's not going to take off. And so that's when I leaned on a friend who works for Emirates and was like, is this flight going to take off? And he was like, yes, it is. Sarah, it's really down to you. I don't have a family. I don't know what's the best way forward. If it's to get your husband back and you can, as a family unit, decide what's best for you, or you go and take the kids to Australia.
And I think that is the overarching point here, right? Because it is any decision that was made during this period is very much about what is right for you and your family. 100%. There is no right or wrong.
Definitely
of
not.
course.
Yeah.
I guess in some ways we're also quite privileged that we have that choice.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at other countries where it's war-torn, this is not a war-torn country. We're in the middle of a conflict.
Yes.
But a lot of the population here have the means to be able to fly to another country or have a second home somewhere, unlike in some of the other countries where it's a lot more desperate, you know what I mean? But that does not negate the stress level and how you need to make the right decisions for you and for your children. But the stress level, I think, has been quite something. And I think as neurodivergent women, we're all high functioning, right? Yeah. And we're already living at sort of quite a, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a
high level of where, it's like
on
you're always
guard.
on guard, aren't you?
On guard,
We're always ready
right?
all the time.
Yeah,
something.
Fight or flight almost.
Yes, always.
And we do in our nature kick into that sort of fixing. We're in a crisis.
Sort of shut down our
we can
emotions,
be quite cool and calm or whatever, but it does not negate that it's all happening inside. Like I know, having come to the end of this 8 weeks, and there's still a level of uncertainty, but things are somewhat going back to normal.
It's not like those first few weeks.
But, I lost my voice in the middle, which was obviously, I know it was stress related.
All sorts of illnesses.
Everyone's immune systems are running low. I'm
not sleeping.
Immensely tired. I can't even tell you.
Exhausted.
I'm borderline burnout.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I need to sort of be,
anxiety,
I need the opportunity to just let it all out, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know what that looks like.
I need a holiday.
Yes,
I
this
think
is
for us
true.
that
We need a
stayed as
holiday.
well. I just need to lay on a beach and talk to nobody for a week. That'd be lovely.
Yeah.
Because that's the
That'd
other
be
thing.
really nice.
For us here, we did not stop. I mean, mainly because, and we did this to ourselves in
Yes,
some
we
way,
did, yeah.
but because our youngest have ADHD, mine would never have been able to distance
Oh, mine
learn,
tried. It was a
and it
nightmare.
would have actually
Goodness.
made my life infinitely more difficult. And I'm running businesses at the same time, running a household. My husband also wasn't here for the first few weeks. But we found, which is the wonderful thing about this country, amazing resources to be able to take our children
much
to
open.
burn out either their
amazing.
energy or continue their learning. They went to a music academy.
Yeah.
They went
We had like
to
Battleground in
Battle
Alquoz,
World,
with
where
those
they could
guys,
do their
Battleworld.
work.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
amazing for the kids. You remember? They were just fantastic.
I mean, the general
some
vibe
of
of
the
everybody
peoples
here
were-
was very friendly,
Oh, they were
and
lovely.
everyone was very kind. I
Very
think
kind, very
everyone
calm.
was just being
Yeah.
kind.
Everyone
it was really
very
nice.
sweet to the children, sweet to
Yeah.
us. Nothing was too much trouble.
Yeah,
Everyone was quite calm
yeah.
and kind.
Calm, yeah, calm is a
and
good
kind.
word, even though there was an
Yeah.
underlying stress
You're
level,
all
which
in it
is actually
together,
quite,
wasn't it?
Yeah,
And then the loyalty for the UAE, I have to say for myself, what this did to me was a real strange one, was that, actually Ross said the same, I became so fiercely loyal to the UAE.
yeah. I agree.
Anyone would say, or back home
Yeah.
send me stupid
Especially
messages.
with all of this negative press.
Total
in
nonsense.
The,
The British
the
press
Western
really
world.
upset me, and
Yeah.
the British upset me that they were pretending that stuff was happening and
Yeah.
it wasn't. The loyalty was like, this country is amazing. Do you think I would have felt safe in the UK?
Yeah,
in the
I mean,
same
let's
situation?
not UK bash. We don't need to do
No,
that.
I won't do that. But it's
We felt
I felt
safe
very
and secure.
loyal.
We managed to navigate our children, but not negating. We exhausted ourselves, because we kept them busy the whole time.
but they were therefore had no high levels of anxiety because of it.
No,
We did.
I think I exhausted him. To be fair, but no, you're
We
right.
did.
They
They
were
didn't.
living their best life. Come
well,
on,
my son learned that he loves DJing and playing the drums.
Playing the drums, yeah,
He's now
exactly.
just learnt to ride a bike, and he wouldn't do that. I mean, there's lots of
Yeah.
achievements happened,
Yeah.
I think, as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? When you go into a situation like this, you don't know what you're going into, like in COVID.
Yeah.
But there are also outcomes, you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
I realised that my son is struggling in English.
Yes.
And now I can
I had the
wrap
same,
those tools
yeah,
around him, you
Very
know what I
true.
mean? Like, we were talking about on your episode that during
Yes.
COVID, obviously, you were able to identify
Yeah.
the
About my
struggles that
son.
your son were having. And
Yes.
actually, when we get, it's not... Listen,
There's
it
wins.
was exhausting, and I don't want him at
Don't
home all
want
the
to.
time. But it's also a privilege that we get to
Exactly.
spend that amount of time
100%.
with our children, because it
100%.
doesn't happen ordinarily. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And actually keeping them safe and secure was the primary objective.
Yeah.
Obviously keeping them busy as well. But obviously you were in Australia, you were staying with family, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that was, I guess, the biggest win for us is that the kids were able to, and myself, bond with family and have that safe space, allowing them to connect with their cousins who they haven't seen in a long time. So that was, I guess, the biggest win out of it. But to be honest, I feel like we missed out so much in Dubai because that's what they know, you know. And a lot of the times my daughter would be like, I was born and raised in Dubai. You can't tell me I can't go back because there was this whole uncertainty. Is this a extended holiday? Is this a
How long is
potentially?
this
Yeah,
for?
I can't imagine that was
Yeah.
so difficult for for an adult to change your mind, but for a child to go like, when am I going home?
Exactly.
And yours had
No
the added
date.
disappointment as well that you had quite the holiday
I know.
booked for spring break. They were supposed to be going to Disneyland Europe, right?
Yeah.
So
We were
there's a
disappointed.
there's a disappointment factor. There's an uncertainty factor.
Yeah.
Even though you're there with family, being embraced, getting to spend time with them, which is of course wonderful. It's that underlying level of uncertainty.
100%.
And when, of course, especially like neurodiverse children and adults, there's already that sort of rocky cortisol level already.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take much to become dysregulated, which we've just talked about quite a lot on our episode. Like that dysregulation, and it doesn't even it manifests itself, right? I mean, there's days when, you know, my eldest son has just sort of exploded for no reason, and, you know, I have to check myself and be like, okay, take a breath. He's dysregulated. There's a lot going on that he's not necessarily vocalizing. You know what I mean? He's a teenager. He has a phone. His friends, they talk, you know what I mean, in terms of what's going on or whatever. So he is exposed to information, and you don't know how that's actually affecting them because, you know, he's not very good at expressing his emotions or his feelings anyway. So, for him, everything becomes a physical reaction. And I think the longer that this has gone on, the more that physicality has become present.
Yeah.
And
I think
the
that's
more
really
it then
important.
becomes important or has become important to create those safe, calm spaces for them.
Or energy releasing, like for my son with
Exactly.
Heroes for Hope, he just did so much sport.
Yeah, Holly did a wonderful job
amazing.
of
So
keeping
many
all
children.
of those classes going. Those
was fantastic.
I mean, ultimately, just in case anyone didn't listen to the episode with Holly from Heroes of Hope, she works. She runs a sports academy for cognitively impaired children, and the fact that she was able to continue all of those classes to give them a space to go. And still have that sense of community, but also to still give their parents the respite that they need to have just a minute to themselves or a coffee or whatever is, I mean, she's a fantastic lady and what she does is wonderful, but to keep it going during such a difficult time as well, I think it's the people that really understand neurodiverse people in general. They also know what is needed in those difficult times.
It's her hero, and you'd see the children, and they were so busy, you know, working out non-stop. And some of the coaches she had, you know, they've all got their own worries, but they were so dedicated to the children that the kids didn't even talk about any problems. To them, they're doing their sports.
And you know what? Sorry,
nothing
something that just
outside.
popped in my head around
go
that
ahead.
because it's something that I experienced in Australia. So my daughter needs to have her people. And if there's a change, whether it's her dentist or her tutor or her teacher, it doesn't matter. It's really like an outburst where it's hard for her to be able to go, okay, you're new, I will try to warm up to you. So having Heroes of Hope and that same person familiarity is really
and the continuity.
Continuity.
Yes.
And you're on this day,
Continuity.
then you Monday, Wednesday, there's something. Every day there was something happening.
Yeah. So I think that honestly, that was one of the elements that I struggled with because, you know, they had dentist appointments that they missed out on or, they need the medication top up and all of this stuff. Because
that's difficult when you're traveling, right?
Oh, that was an experience.
And then
Let's
also
put
not
it that
having
way.
things like the OT. See, we were able to continue for OT, had speech therapy, and it was wonderful because the kids then got to see those same adult faces in person.
It
And the
makes a difference.
therapies that you or your children use, were they available to you online during this period? Is it something that you accessed?
Yeah, look, I mean, for my kids, they prefer the in-person, right? And then adding that
I couldn't
distance
agree more.
learning
Yeah.
element where...
Neurodiverse, you want
And my son was like, I just want to be at the school. I just want to be with the kids and with the... It was not something that I was going to add to an online therapy session. It wasn't going to fly. So I ended up, you know,
But it was
making
offered
do.
to you, but you didn't make use of it.
I
I completely understand why. I just wanted to understand if the services remained available to you. Which they did
Absolutely.
if you wanted to engage with them online.
Yeah, and I have to say as well, the therapist that I had to reach out to get that report to continue the medication or whatever, I had to take that to the doctors and in Australia, and that was really quick response. I had emailed and received that to support me to have that continuation and that momentum abroad, because I did not know how long I was going to be there for, right? And I needed to ensure that that continuation was there. Otherwise, with already the heightened anxiety, the emotional dysregulation, we were going to regress so much more than not having the, the support system that we've already got in place to a degree, So, yeah.
But it's great to hear that you were able to access those services and get that resolved quickly, because I'm not sure that that's the case everywhere. So that's really nice to hear.
I had to put up a fight, to be honest, because there was like huge waiting lists or, it was a jungle, but we got there and it was well received and we navigated it eventually.
You navigated, I mean, that's what we do, right?
Yeah. We fight and find our way. Yeah.
I think for my boys, having the OT was the most important one. Definitely.
Yeah.
So I had like insights, and they've got a new place in Healthcare City. So they were just out in the grass, just playing around for the OT, and it just felt so normal and calm and nice. And also to see was so quiet. It was lovely.
And I think that's the thing, keeping that sense of normality in a time of uncertainty is really quite key. And we talked about it like that sort of leaning into each other for community, leaning into I don't know if it was, we can cut this out, but I don't know if it was in what we recorded earlier, but in terms of those core group of friends that I have, for example, like we back in COVID, we lent on each other, and then we found each other leaning on each other again, and we very much lent on each other.
Definitely.
Right?
I mean, I think I was lucky to have you, because having not been here so long, I don't really have that extended group. So for having you was amazing. And then I had one other really key friend from Bloom who was here, which every day we'd chit chat.
But it's about keeping up that connection, because a lot of people left, obviously. So it was like, you sort of had to be like, who's still here?
Who can I be really honest with as well? Honest conversations.
Who's my tribe? Because, I mean, we talked about energies as well, right? Like,
definitely.
Are the people that you surround yourself with going to bring you up or bring you down? And in times of crisis like this, it's really, really important as well, especially when, as neurodivergent people, our cortisol levels are high. We're already running at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Do we need a person that's going to drain our energy? Probably not. Like we need to keep ourselves in a positive headspace, because that's the safe space for us, right? As soon as we let that bird negativity, RSC,
the famous
any
bird
of it, but as soon as we let that creep in, it can have a really negative impact on it. It's a spiral. And as the mum holding up the household, that you can't happen.
That. It can't. That's one thing my husband always says. And he says, "Kid, if your mum goes down, is sick, we're all finished." I was what? It's quite dramatic, but he said, "Really?"
And
because you run every.
It's true.
And emotionally, it's
something that we touched on in our episode is self-care. Right?
Yeah, I'm terrible at that.
You are.
Terrible.
I mean, this is something we have to work on.
Has to take me shopping, take me going. He has to book things for me. I am terrible. I've said this. I need help.
We've got to work on that.
Because you and yourself, you spend a lot of time like moving your children from place to place, because they've both got stuff going on. Lorcan's doing amazingly at his things, but you need time for you. There's been a couple of times over the last few weeks when I actually genuinely be quite worried about you, because you looked exhausted. But it's really hard to say to someone in that moment, because I don't want to be the person that breaks you. You know what I mean? No, but also like sometimes it's that thing of, I think we were talking out there earlier and you said, I'd love to give you a hug. And I was like, please don't.
That's why I was like, okay.
Right, because sometimes if it's that level, if someone's compassionate towards you, that's the
It will
breaking
break.
point. You know what I mean?
But it's
not-
even me dropping Lucy with the woodwork thing, and you were like, "Oh, okay, you know, I thought we could sit and have a little glass of wine." I was like, "Oh no, I've got something booked." I was like, "Oh no, I so need that." Just that hour,
Yeah.
I felt so much better.
Yeah. And that's the thing, right?
So much better. All I needed.
I basically did was had a guy come and run a woodworking class,
Nice.
in my garden for all the kids, which kept them all occupied for an hour. And Yvonne and I just literally managed to sit on the balcony and have a
We
little
really
drinky
missed
together.
out not being here. I can sense it all right
Those
now.
little reach outs of just
Yeah.
that was like, "Gosh, I need that," or just that person to know. Oh, we've got a very similar mindset
Yeah,
and very
good.
similar children.
yeah.
So
But
I think that helped a lot. Really
something
did
I
help a
feel
lot.
like
I was
is
very grateful.
important as part of this episode is really, obviously, well, firstly, if I come back to like I mentioned, community and connection, right? And sort of on that basis, we have pushed forward with
Yes.
the Three Busy Brains
Yeah.
launch because it was due on the 11th of April.
Yes.
It's happening tomorrow. By the time this episode comes out, it will have happened in the past. But obviously, first and foremost, we weren't concentrating on it at all, right?
Yeah.
We all
No,
needed to
and
dig down into
yeah,
what was
that's the thing.
happening.
Yeah.
But then actually what we realized from being here was that people were leaning on each other. They did need community. They did need connection. And that feeds into the work that we've all been doing.
Yeah.
So sort of as we're coming out of this period, I think knowing myself and how exhausted I am and how I'm teetering on the edge of a burnout, and I need some self-care and I need to be away from my children for a bit.
Yes.
Just to give myself the energy back, you know what I mean?
Because it's this constant
Rejuvenate.
constant feel, isn't it?
And I
You've got
think
stuff to
that
do all the
comes
time.
from connection
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
So I hope that other parents will reach out to us and connect with us so that we can come together in the community groups more. I think it's really, really important. And I think that self-care and recovery after this period is also really important for neurodivergent people, families, children. Rather than like with the children, yes, they've gone back to school, but they're hearing language they haven't heard before. Everything's different, not completely different, but obviously there's nuances to this situation.
Some kids don't, as found out, don't know anything has been happening, and then they're going to be in school with kids that have been here with things happening. So a lot of that's going to be for parents to have these conversations.
But as we
weeks.
navigate sort of the next few weeks, basically, I think it's important for people to, even at the weekends, for example, don't put too much pressure on your children. Let them decompress
Yes.
because going back to school
so
is going to
agree.
be a lot. You know what I mean?
Transition.
Yeah, very much so. Transition is hard, especially, kids that have been away and then come back again. There's a lot of change.
Yeah, this is actually I wanted to touch on that. That was a huge element as well in coming back. It's like, is it okay to come back?
Yes.
Are we going to be hearing things? There was so much question. Am I going to go to school or am I not? Am I still going to do this distance learning? There was so much, doubt. But when we came back, it was like, we're home. And
So there was a sense of relief.
the sense of relief. And I don't know if we touched on this, but the next day after I arrived, I received a call from the Community Development Authority, I think, and CDA.
Right.
And they were wanting to check in on me and the family being registered as a people of determination.
That's amazing.
That was honestly goosebumps and just really, and then we talked about earlier around how we believe in and truly rely and love the country and that they really recognize neurodivergent people.
Yeah.
And
I mean, to get a call that asks you,
amazing.
are you okay? That's
so
huge.
I was shocked. I'm like, I'm sorry, what? You're
Yeah.
from CDA? Okay. It was really
Yeah. So
Amazing.
that resource is basically made available because you registered at SANAD, is that right?
Correct, yeah.
So once you've had a diagnosis, you can register at SANAD. You get a SANAD card, which is issued by the government. It's a government entity.
Correct.
And you get certain privileges with that,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Could you share with the audience what that card entails?
Yeah, so I mean, ultimately it will allow you access to have a parking permit, for example. Also the SALIC, which is a toll waiver for the vehicle that you would be using. So there's benefits from the transportation. Also, there's a Knoll card, so you can use the Metro complimentary.
No way. I did not know that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
cool.
Should
Yeah.
have a look. And
You become a VIP.
really, honestly,
You do, yeah,
honestly,
basically.
yeah. That's where the kids felt like, oh my gosh.
Listen,
it's
I
cool
do
to
know
have
that
this.
technically it's a POD. Like, let's just
Yes.
say that for the audience benefit. But I mean, but from a child's perspective,
Yeah.
all of those benefits
Makes it
make
feel
them feel like a
special.
VIP,
It does,
right?
Yeah.
They love it. I mean, fast track on theme parks and all of that. They really.
Which I think is crucial. It sounds like a privilege, right? But
it's
actually,
not. Yeah.
if you're trying to queue in a busy theme
Yeah.
park with children
The
who
kids
are
are out.
dysregulated,
We're
then yeah, it's impossible.
hard.
I mean,
Yeah.
I couldn't stand in a queue with my children for an hour.
Oh my gosh.
No.
We'd all kill each other by the end of the queue.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's
So
great
it's
because
Yeah.
it's good for them because it's sort of a sense of I'm important.
Yeah.
So I
I'm
really think, and other
recognised.
kids then think they're important as well.
Yeah, I mean, just
So
today,
let's go with them.
just today, my son, I was picking up the kids, his friend with him as well, and they were having a chat. Oh, you know, my mum doesn't need to pay for parking outside the school premise. And he was like, oh, why not? Oh, because we have a parking permit. And then the child friend was like, so do you need to pay for that, like parking permit? And he was like, no, actually, it's from the government, and they give it because they recognize that we've got ADHD and neurodivergence. And he owned it and
I
just
love
expressed
that. Yeah,
it.
I love
Especially
that.
at
You know?
his age.
Yeah,
That's
so
fantastic.
And it
was
comes back
nice.
to that conversation of positive versus negative
Yes.
reinforcement, right?
Yeah.
The more positive reinforcements everyone's getting, the more it will benefit them in the future, because we don't have to think of neurodivergency as having shame around it like it once did. And that was just lack of education.
Yes.
And at the time, you know, and everything
Lack of
changes
education,
with time.
fear, isn't it?
Yeah,
And-
all of those things. But if our children could grow up being proud of their neurodivergency and their differences, then, and that's supported by the government, then fantastic.
It's a huge win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
and it helps
really.
them even, like, I think Lucian's always like, oh, that actor, that's who he is. Most actors, sports people, you know, radio presenters have ADHD. You know, it's one of those things. And it's great because it makes them start feeling, oh, that person's great and they're neurodiverse.
And it's okay.
You know,
That's the
this
thing.
is an
I mean, I
idea.
know
I
we've
could go into
digressed
this
off of the
career.
war conversation. I mean, shocker, 3
Oh,
ADHD women
surprise.
can't stay on subject.
Not surprised.
But I mean, at the end of the day, this is a really positive conversation. I think actually there's so many more public figures coming out and identifying with whatever their diagnosis may be.
It's like
And
having
it really
us at Helen
helps
Farman,
for the children to sort of associate with these people, you know, whoever it is. If they look up to them and that person has a similar diagnosis to them, then it helps them to be like, oh, look, that person's successful. They did well. I can
Definitely.
do that too, kind of thing.
100%.
And what their superpower is. He's always like, oh, I'm really good. I'm going to be a great actor because that person's got ADHD and they're great acting. You know, it slows thoughts for the sports people, isn't it?
Yeah.
So think, you know, look at your son, how amazing he is.
Yeah.
Lucy was even saying, oh, he's so good on the stage. What amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, he does theatre, right?
Yeah.
Theatre, music.
That's a real
very
talent there,
talented
yeah.
in that regard.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's also
Sorry, I actually we did when we were in our previous episode. You said that he is diagnosed with ADHD, and someone had mentioned dyslexia to you. Is he dyslexic?
actually that's a
Everyone knows that
interesting
he's got a-
story, but it hasn't been confirmed 100%. But what he does have within the dyslexia umbrella is auditory processing disorder. So also there's like an element of dysgraphia, like he
Yes,
gets tired, so he
Lucian,
gets
yeah.
provisioning for typing as opposed to writing in assessments and stuff like that. So he hasn't been declared diagnostically, but he does have these elements that come with it. And then yes, we also identified the ASD side, the autism basically, just recently as well. So it wasn't so clear in the beginning, also because I didn't understand it. I didn't know about it. And then when finding out about my daughter, then it opened up the door about all of these.
There are also lots of comorbidities.
Yeah.
And when you've got different elements overlapping with each other, it does make the diagnosis so much harder.
Very different. And I think that's where sometimes it's hard for schools, because parents might go in with one diagnosis and then they don't, there's not dyslexia down, there's not dysgraphia, and then the school focuses on one.
Yeah.
I think this is always that education, you've got to be open that they might have ASD, but there's a likelihood they could have dyslexia, they all go together.
Yeah.
And to be aware that it's not just the ASD or it's just the ADHD that's causing that.
Which is where, because there's always that ongoing discussion about what's the benefit of getting your children diagnosed. Is it a label? Are they going to be treated negatively because of it? Because, of course, generationally, that's what happened. And that changing that mindset is actually going to take time, right?
Yeah,
but when you're looking at it from those perspectives about school, actually, the more information the school has about the way that they need to learn, the more that they can facilitate them, right?
Yeah, 100%. And explain to teachers that to have that care and support to understand why is that child's writing so terrible.
It's about like really
confidence
just
for the child,
understanding them for yourself as a parent, but also enabling you to find that confidence to advocate for them in the school so that they know, okay, what support do they need to help them to thrive, honestly. It's not about, being difficult, about, they need this extra provisions. Yes, they do, but it's not so hard. And it was also for me to change my mindset. It's like, you're not writing this properly, erase that. That was how I was, raised. It was like, no, that's not good enough. Go back. And again, it was that whole little bird mindset. It stemmed from somewhere, right? But now it's more around how can we tell them that you don't need to write, just type it out. Exactly. It's okay.
I
it's about finding that and being able to, it's not about, not fixing fixing it.
It's
It's
about
adapting.
Tools, not fixing.
100%. And
finding
also
tools.
teaching them to advocate for themselves, because Lucian has that in his goals with school, his IEP. It actually is. He's having to learn to advocate for himself, to say, my hand is hurting, I can't write anymore to the teacher, so now I'm going to type, or I'm going to do speak to spell. And to give them that power now as young kids.
Spell? What's that?
Text to spell. So so you speak into the mic, and it's
speech to text.
Speech to text. Sorry, speak.
So I've never heard of that.
Yeah, so they're do that
they love
as well.
that.
It's wonderful because it's all up here. So why should they be marked down because they can't write it when they actually know everything up here?
Oh,
so
I
they
wish
just
Monty
speak
had
into
had
it.
that at school.
It's wonderful.
That would have made a
Right.
huge
We do
Yeah.
not have any of that.
So because as the teacher said, well then by the time it's getting from here to the pen, and then they're having difficulties, everything's forgotten. Whereas if they can just
Quality
say
of
it,
the work,
doesn't mean they don't know it. That's the thing, they know it. So why can't they just
absolutely.
speak it? And it can all be written down.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, there's so many tools available. And obviously with the advancement of AI,
Yes,
that
exactly.
facilitates
Oh my gosh.
immensely. I mean,
It's neurodiverse person's dream, isn't it?
yeah, especially dyslexics.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Yasser is very dyslexic. And AI has changed his life, like literally. I mean, writing an email now looks presentable as opposed to
changed.
unreadable.
It's amazing, isn't it?
But which is hard, right? If you're a
confidence.
successful businessman and your emails can't be read because all the brilliance that's in your brain can't come out, then I mean, it ultimately, and you're judged by it, right?
100%.
Yes.
And now we've got these wonderful tools, whether it's AI or otherwise, to be able to facilitate any of the weaknesses. Because one of the things is the overarching on all of the episodes is neurodiverse brains are brilliant. But there's also shortcomings, right? There's areas that anyone struggles with, and finding the tools to help ourselves and overcome them is much more readily available now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And even for us, that means self-care, right? Coming back to, but it does. It does. It's not just about
It's
those
true.
practical tools. It's also about realizing I need to step away from my environment and I need a couple of hours to myself. Whatever, relaxation looks different for every single person. So, I'm not going to sit here and say you need to do this or that. It's about finding the space for yourself to just have some time so that you can regroup your energy. Right?
That's very true.
Because being in a neurodiverse mum in a neurodiverse household, especially in these last 8 weeks, it's full on.
I think mums out there, and dads, it's exhausting because also you're having to put on this, we're in control, everything's okay.
The big pants on.
We're all masking during this time. Everyone's masking.
Of course we are. Because, there's also the underlying economic difficulties. Like, look at the hotels, they're struggling. We've been trying to go out as much as possible to support the economy, but whilst also being concerned about our own jobs. My business has been impacted massively because the product that I supply is directly related to the oil price. My husband works in events, and there's no events in this region until the back end of the year. And that creates an underlying stress. And it's the stuff that you don't want to discuss in front of your children because you don't want to
concern them.
You don't want to give them an added level of stress. But for the parents, and we're both neurodiverse, the stress level is... It's been riding, you know what I mean? That like constant, like your nervous system.
That's what I said. I feel it here. Some days I said to you the other day, and I said I feel like here feels like I feel like something's not quite right. Your body doesn't feel like your own. I think sometimes I feel sort of.
And for me, I think we've been quite good at sort of at the weekends taking time out, doing staycations, making sure that we decompress. But then you go at it again on Monday morning, and I've told you about my Thursday feeling. Thursday is my blue day. Like I go through the week, and then I'm like, thank God it's nearly the weekend because my anxiety level is up here, my stress level is up here, and I can't do anything about it. It's just it's the way my body and my brain works.
For me, I just can't sleep. As you said, I'm emailing at 3 o'clock in the morning. I think both of you seen that. Just can't.
But it affects us all differently. That's the thing. But I think we have to recognise it's been stressful for everybody, not just neurodivergent people. But I think
it's
what we all need to be aware of at this point in time is the potential crash that will happen now. And that's where people need the big group hug, right? And that's what we're there for.
And to know they're not going to be judged. This is the big one. There was no right and wrong on what decisions you take and what you did or anything. It had to be what was right for yourself, what was right for your family. There's no judgment.
There's no judgment. No, absolutely not. No. You do you. Like that's what we're all about, right?
Exactly.
It's not about judging. It's not about we have all the answers. It's not about there's one way to do anything. It's just sharing stories, sharing knowledge, sharing information, creating community, creating connection. So I think that's probably a good point for us to wrap up for today because we could talk forever.
I know, we really can.
Right? But we are the Three Busy Brains, and you can find us on the Three Busy Brains website, which is the letter 3, busybrains.com. And then on that page, you can find all the connections to either Sarah, Yvonne, or myself. So thank you very much for joining.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.